Over the years, the Plaine constituency has been denied of major developments. Residents of this constituency will now receive their fair share as it relates to the overall transformation and development of the Southeast.
I believe really and truly whatever is done here, whatever I do as the PAL rep, should be driven by the people. So my agenda for the next year, 5 years, will be driven by what the people believe are the priorities for this area.
Let's take a look at sports and infrastructure. In the Daly's community, much work needs to be done in the area of sports and development of recreational facilities. This will add to the significant development of infrastructure and upliftment of the community.
I must say one of the areas that we will be focusing on here in Daly's is the upgrade of the Plaine field. Just a visit to the Plaine field would prove to you that it is in a state that requires some immediate and urgent attention. First of all, we need to do some leveling of the actual field itself. We also need to get the storm drains on the upper end of on the upper section of the Plaine field in place because it's always subject to flooding. And very importantly, across the main road, we need to get the erection of the stands.
With the establishment of such facilities, the Honorable Peter Seja is of the view that this will help in the development of young persons in this community.
Of late, what we have noticed is that there is an increase in deviant behavior among our young people. Hence, the drive, therefore, to focus on the development of facilities that will cater for our youth so that their energies can be channeled in productive areas. And in Daly's, one of these such areas is this hard court that we are standing on. It's located right in the middle of the village in the Lower Carib area. Working with the village council and other community groups and youth organizations, we will look at addressing this hard court with a view to upgrading the surface of the facility and the lighting up so that young people can have a facility where they can really interact and ensure that they engage in positive activities.
The livelihood of many persons in this community is based on agriculture. This is a key aspect of income generation for these people. The minister articulates his vision for the development of the agricultural sector in this community.
Daly's was one of the first communities who took the move to move away from banana production, and they got into plantain, potato and tulip cultivation. We have a group of about 30 women, or 28 women and 2 men. They refer to themselves as the Daly's Tuluma Group, and they are all engaged in tuluma and cassava production. It is my hope that very early in this term that we can get the Ministry of Lands to allocate that portion of land for this group on the upper section of the Fontoma area, with the hope that they will erect the factory and really get not just into cultivation and production of tuluma, but into the actual packaging and marketing of their produce.
Our GIS News team got a first-hand tour of one of the cassava processing plants in this community.
That's a machine to extract starch. It takes up the starch. We have the washer, we have the receiver and the vat. Now before we start, we full all this with water. Now we wash the product here. As you would notice outside, we have a grinder where we grind it, and that product, we wash it. And the starch settles in these 3. Number 1, 2, and 3. And the water goes back to the vat and it recycles the water up here.
We now take a look at the water situation in this community. Water, as we well know, is a necessary element of the sustenance of life. Residents of Daly's experience major difficulties with the quality and quantity of the water they receive.
This storage tank, the source of the water is way up in the heights, but it goes uphill and then down. The difficulty is that, first of all, this storage tank, because of the period of time that it has been around, actually from the studies that have been carried out, the water seeps underneath, so that there is never an adequate level of water in the storage tank to supply the entire community of Delis, that is La Roche, Victoria, Carib, and Delis. And you will well understand the topography of the area and the relative distance. Secondly, the storage tank itself the volume of water that is stored here is not enough to meet the needs of the community.
The construction of a new water system and upgrade to that which exists in the Delis community is a project of major importance to be undertaken by the Honorable Parliamentary Representative, Peter Saint-Jean.
So this is the biggest project for me as Pal Rep and for the community of Delis. People have been waiting in anticipation for years. Finally, we have the monies available for the completion of the project.
It is hoped, finally, the issue of water in the Delis community will be a thing of the past. One resident of Delis shares his thoughts on that development.
Well, I'm happy because for the most time you have to be carrying water on your head time by time, go in the pipe, come back sometimes. So when you come, there is no water. Sometimes you have water for a couple hours and then you have to go somewhere and bathe and whatnot. So it's a good thing the government is doing, and I'm happy that the government is seeing the situation of the Southeast people in Delis, La Roche, Carib, and Victoria to get source water.
We now take a look at the village of Boetica. Sustainable employment. The abattoir, or slaughterhouse as we know it, was built with a view to generate sustainable livelihoods for the farmers and livestock owners of the area.
We believe that one of the key areas that we should focus on here in the Plaine constituency, and more specifically Boetica, is on income generation, is creating sustainable livelihoods for the people. The project is nearing completion, and of course you would realize that the facility itself is complete. And what is lacking now is the equipping of the facility, the abattoir, and on the other side of the building, adjacent building, is the Toloma factory.
Clerk of the Boetica Village Council, Lorena Smith, gave GIS a walkthrough of the facility.
Since we are working with the Bureau of Standards, the neighboring villages will benefit from that Toloma factory as well. But we are thinking long term, and since we're talking about standards, we would need to have a dryer and a packaging room because we really want to produce the best.
The abandoned Boetica school can be transformed to facilitate many activities. The facility is ideal for housing the village council and resource center.
I really want to hope that the council would see it from the perspective that I do, in that the entire building would be handed over to the village council, and of course, as they have articulated, the upper wing would be used as their council office and resource center.
The Honorable Peter Saint-Jean is quite passionate about establishing sustainable forms of income-generating projects for the people of the Plaine constituency.
We can focus on youth skill development, running a program of activities where we get our young people engaged in technical skill development, so that after the program is complete, these young people can go out there and generate some income for themselves and by extension their family and the community of Boetica.
Over the years, the Boetica people have been without a proper playing field. The Honorable Minister will seek to address this important issue.
The people of Boetica have sought to create a proper facility for sporting activity. The limitation, however, as you will realize, is the gradient of the Plaine area. One of the things that we need to work on is getting a proper surface area. Secondly, we need to create on this end here proper access to the playing field And the third aspect of the development of this facility is the construction of washroom facilities.
Lorena Smith outlines areas of concern for development.
When we are engaged in sporting activities, a number of persons come to view whatever sports that is being played here. And some of them complain that the only inconvenience is that it doesn't have a washroom facility. So we are also hoping that we can be assisted with a washroom facility in this area.
Honorable Peter Saint-Jean expresses his commitment to the people of the Plaine constituency.
Well, I've given this the people of Boitica and of course by extension the Plaine constituency my word that once they have the confidence in Peter as their PAL rep, that I will work to ensure that these things are achieved.
In Plaine, we look at infrastructural development. As we went through the community of Plaine, we met with residents of La Ronde, where construction of a very important roadway was taking place. GIS spoke with a few persons employed on the project.
Okay, this road is La Ronde Road. La Ronde is a section of Plaine. It's the La Ronde Village Council. And the council saw it fit to do this piece of road because this road has been in a deplorable state for a long time. And the people of La Ronde have been complaining. And we saw it fit to do this piece of road, and we were grateful to get some funds from the government of Dominica so that we could do this piece of road. And we are also grateful to the Honorable Peter Saint-Jean, who has seen it fit to help the council to get these funds so that we could do this piece of road.
As this road is the only access to this part of the community, its rehabilitation is significant in allowing easier access for residents.
Oh yes, certainly, for the simple reason that one, this is the only access road into La Ronde, into the hamlet of La Ronde. You will realize that there is no other way into this section of Plaine. And the state in which the road was limited the access. So indeed for me it is happening, and even more so for the people of La Ronde.
Well, we have a number of senior citizens living up this way. Majority of the senior citizens are higher up. So we saw it fit, and it was a problem so that the ambulance could go up there, the buses could have gone up there, even the garbage trucks. So we saw it fit to do this piece of road so that it could alleviate the problem of the La Ronde people, especially the senior citizens.
Yeah, I believe that's an important piece of road for the area because as you can see there was worse than there, so and vehicles almost couldn't climb up there. So now we have a highway climbing up right up over there, so that is important for La Ronde.
Several persons have benefited from the short-term employment generated by this project.
Yes, because as you can see, we have 7 men from La Ronde working on this piece of road. Because for a number of years, they have been saying that the council is not doing nothing to create employment in the area. And it was so fitting that we could get these ones to employ the fellas from La Ronde. Because all the fellas you are seeing there, they are from La Ronde.
The parliamentary representative, Honorable Peter Saint-Jean, expressed great joy for having the La Ronde road constructed for his people.
You will understand as well that La Ronde, historically, it is said, has been left out. And so for me, it was a joy to know that the people of La Ronde could feel that they are part of the process. Yeah, we've got this road, and the anticipation is, if we have finally got this road, that there are better things to come.
A number of key projects with the vision of developing that part of Plaine is high on the agenda for Honorable Peter Saint-Jean.
We have a number of things that we want to do. One of the key things I believe that the people of La Ronde have been calling for is a link between La Ronde, the upper section of the area, into La Franchette. La Ronde needs a proper water supply, one where the hygiene is maintained. But again, like I've always said, we have to dialogue with the people, find out exactly how and what it is they want, and we will deal with the whole issue.
We take a look at sustainable employment. In order to take the Plaine constituency to the next level, the minister focuses on sustainable means of generating income for his people. With the establishment of a multi-purpose resource center, this can be achieved.
This is a big one for us, a big project. What we are hoping to do with this old building is to transform it into a community resource center, really multi-purpose resource center. Of course, we recognize that it will take quite a bit of funding to do that, but we are of the view that whatever we put in here, that in the long term, it will be worth it.
Details of this vision are articulated by Honorable Peter Saint-Jean.
An area where our young people can come in, do their assignments, the students at the high school, so they have access to internet, get their assignments done. We are also hoping to set up an area where our women, we have a group of women through funding from UNESCO, have actually commenced production of school uniforms and various species of garment. So we are hoping that in here we can accommodate these ladies who are engaged, a group of 7 ladies who are productively engaged. We are also hoping too that we can have an area where people can just come in and interact and have recreational activities. And the final leg would be to open up an area, one of the sections, for skill development.
Back to basics. Words expressed by Honorable Peter Saint-Jean with regards to agriculture.
It is our view that we need to go back to basics, and by that I mean agriculture. We cannot divorce agriculture from the development of rural communities, and we see this as a lucrative way of generating income for families in La Plaine.
Other important areas of development in the La Plaine community include construction of link roads for easier access.
In La Plaine, we have a wide network or a large network of in-village roads. The difficulty, though, is the limitation that these roads have not been developed. We are of the view that in order to see La Plaine develop, it is critical for us to focus on these in-village roads.
One challenge is to undertake the upgrade of housing for the residents of La Plaine.
For us in the constituency, housing, the problem that we have with housing is the stock that we now have, we currently have, needs serious refurbishing. This for us is a serious challenge. We sought to address this challenge in the previous term in office, and we will continue in this new term. But given our drive, the government's focus on ensuring that people have adequate housing, their housing needs are met, I am of the view that the La Plaine constituency will receive a fair measure of support as far as it relates to housing.
Ecotourism can be an income generator for the residents of La Plaine. However, this area has been neglected. The parliamentary representative outlines his plans for this sector.
In this term in office, working in consultation with the various stakeholders, that we can really develop first the trail and secondly construct a reception center. We believe that if we can get this area to the standard that we envisage, that La Plaine's economy can be transformed. We have not really benefited from the tourist dollar, and we see this as a possible avenue.
As we continue as GIS to bring you focused development, we want to thank you very much for viewing and look forward to bringing you another program of similar nature when together we focus on projects of national development in various parts of Dominica. Once again, thank you very much for viewing.